The war in Mali, which erupted in 2012 and continues to this day, has brought turmoil, displacement, and insecurity to the West African nation. This protracted conflict has involved various armed groups, regional dynamics, and complex political factors, posing significant challenges to peace and stability in the region. This article aims to delve into the origins, key actors, and ongoing efforts to resolve the conflict in Mali. The roots and catalysts of the conflict. The roots of the conflict can be traced back to a combination of factors, including political instability, socio-economic grievances, and ethnic tensions. Mali has long struggled with weak governance, corruption, and economic disparities, which created a fertile ground for discontent and insurgency. Additionally, the fallout from the Libyan civil war in 2011, which led to an influx of weapons and armed fighters into the Sahel region, further destabilized Mali. Emergence of armed groups. In 2012, several armed groups, including ethnic Tuareg rebels, joined forces to form the National Movement for the Liberation of Azawad. The MNLA aimed to establish an independent state for the Tuareg people in northern Mali, known as Azawad. However, the conflict took a dramatic turn when Islamist extremist groups, such as Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb and Ansar Dine, seized control of northern territories, imposing a strict interpretation of Sharia law. French intervention and international involvement. In response to the rapid advance of extremist groups and the threat they posed to Mali's stability, France launched a military intervention in January 2013, known as Operation Serval. With the support of regional and international partners, including the United Nations, African Union, and ECOWAS, French forces successfully pushed back the insurgents and restored control over major towns. Challenges to peace and reconciliation. Despite initial military successes, achieving sustainable peace and reconciliation in Mali has proven challenging. The conflict has evolved into a complex web of interrelated issues, including ethnic tensions, land disputes, and the absence of inclusive governance. The persistent activities of armed groups, particularly in rural areas, continue to undermine security and impede the return of displaced populations. Efforts to resolve the conflict. Efforts to resolve the conflict have centered around a comprehensive approach encompassing security, governance, and development. The United Nations established the United Nations Multidimensional Integrated Stabilization Mission in Mali to support peacekeeping operations, protect civilians, and facilitate the peace process. Regional initiatives, such as the Algiers Peace Agreement signed in 2015, have aimed to foster dialogue and address underlying grievances. The way forward. Addressing the root causes of the conflict and achieving sustainable peace in Mali requires a multifaceted approach. This includes promoting inclusive governance, enhancing security sector reform, and implementing socio-economic development programs. Additionally, efforts to combat terrorism and transnational crime in the Sahel region must be bolstered through increased regional cooperation and international support. The war in Mali has had a devastating impact on the country, resulting in loss of life, displacement, and a challenging humanitarian crisis. Resolving this conflict demands a comprehensive and collaborative approach involving the Malian government, regional actors, and the international community. By addressing the underlying causes, fostering dialogue, and investing in long-term development, Mali can aspire to a future of stability, peace, and prosperity for its people.